Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the consideration of a double waterfall island. Double waterfall island has become quite the trend these days. So it's quite modern, very clean. And then many people like that instead of the no waterfall or even single waterfall. There are a few things for you to think about when you're trying to build such an island. And then I will go over that you one by one using this brand new renovated kitchen as an example for you. The first thing to think about is that each of the water panel does add to the length of the island, because you have to add into the cross panel or granite panel that is typically 1 inch, and also you want to strengthen it, that as another. So I would say that each of the waterfall side will add like 2.5 inches to the length of your island. And then the second thing is definitely a bigger consideration is the cost. So you see that for the waterfall panel, you do have to add in this full panel here of quartz that is like typically 36 inches high. So now you need 36 by 41, which is the depth of my island here to the cost of your material. And don't forget, you have to double that. Also on this side, you can see that you need to have more panel on the thicker edge, which are 3 inches wide. And then also like this return panel, let me zoom in a little bit here, is also will add to the cost of your material. And another interesting consideration is that if you are picking a veined quartz panel, like what I'm here, ideally you would like the vein to be continuous, to go all the way down. Unfortunately, that means a really big piece. My length of the island is 81, and also the height of the island is 36. So simply I cannot find a panel that is at least 170 inch wide. They are available, but also the cost is quite prohibitively high for me. So I settle for like a brick into the vein pattern. So if this is very important for you, so you can consider buying a much larger piece of material, or you can just like ask what my contractor here is trying to just match it so it doesn't really be too awkward. Of course, right, ideally you will be wanting something like this. This is what you have like a continuous pattern. Another way to get around it, of course, is that if you just go for a kind of material, a countertop that is not veined or have a more homogeneous pattern, then you don't have to worry about this. The last consideration is very interesting. And you see that like the panel here, the waterfall, you wanted it to be totally clean, smooth, with no switches of any kind, right? That is how you want it. That's why you put the money into the double waterfall. The problem is that typically in the kitchen on the side of the island, you have two things. You will have the switch for your garbage disposal, and typically you have an electrical outlet. So what do you do now? First of all, for the garbage disposal, now instead of a switch, I now have a push button that I installed on the dash. Well, that is easily done. The outlet becomes a little bit trickier because I definitely do not want to have to cut a hole into my waterfall to have an outlet. And you may ask, hey, how about that I don't have an outlet at all? Is that okay? Maybe I just get my outlet from the other parts of the kitchen. If you live like me, that is in the state of California, unfortunately, no. You need to have an outlet on your island. And then especially if you have a really skinny island that, for example, like the sink may break your island into two distinct surfaces, you will have to have two outlets. Yep, That is a regulation requirement. So that is why I put it here on the back side. But back side also have a new consideration as well, because you can see that why is this overhang pretty narrow? That is only a 6-inch overhang, because once again, that is required by the regulation. If you put it like below the overhang, it should be no more than 6 inch from the edge of the island. If you don't need to build a island that is stick to this regulation, definitely you will have a much easier time, and then you can have much deeper overhang. So these are all the considerations that you should think about and pay attention to when you want to build a double waterfall kitchen island. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.